Okay. Hoping everybody can hear me okay. We normally don't live stream these spaces with video, but today we're doing something new and wild. So I'm going to double check with everybody that everyone's hearing me all right. Let me just check here in the chat. So, assuming that this is working correctly, I have two gentlemen backstage that I'm about to bring out and introduce to you all. Before I do that, just super quick housekeeping here. So this is the DePIN Hub verified space. Normally we just do this on X as like a traditional AMA, but now we're doing it with video so people can also check it out on LinkedIn, YouTube, X, or in other places where we'll share this video afterwards, eventually TikTok as well. So I am Michael, the head of growth at DePIN Hub. So DePIN Hub is the main kind of product of Hotspotty. So we're known for basically building out the software and tooling to help Helium, one of the original DePIN projects, scale across the world. So we helped with everything around hotspot management and paying your hosts and all those details. We took those years of experience and the hundreds of thousands of people we basically gathered into our community and decided, hey, DePIN's taken off now as a narrative. There's hundreds of cool projects out there. Let's take all of our learnings about community development and fundraising and tooling and tech and map explorers, blockchain infra, all of that, and let's apply it to the whole space to help everybody grow, especially those top tier projects that are really worth paying attention to, participating in, investing in. And let's help our community connect to those projects so that everyone can earn and the whole space can grow. So we created DePIN Hub, our website, deepinhub.io, to do that. That was the goal. And about 1 year ago, we created something called the Verified Program. This was a response to our audience telling us that we asked them, hey, if you had one feature that's missing right now in DePIN Hub, what would help you the most? And the response we got, the overwhelming response was, it's just too noisy. It's hard to sift through all the noise and basically suss out the actual diamonds in the rough. Help us connect to the best projects. So we created this verified program. There was nothing ever like this in DePIN. There still isn't really. It's a due diligence framework that we created alongside some analysts and VCs in the DePIN and Web3 space, as well as a few project founders. And we've created a 20-question methodology that covers everything from the revenue model, the tokenomics, the governance, all kinds of things. Really hard questions too, like how are you eventually going to scale to 100 million in revenue? And as you do that, how does value also accrue back to your token holders and your node holders, and other questions. When the team scores high enough in our point system, they get awarded a purple badge that shows up on DePIN Hub and gives them way better exposure on DePIN Hub and allows you and the community to connect to them much easier. So everybody wins. And to those projects that are not quite at that level yet, it also helps motivate them to increase their transparency and increase some of their metrics to get to that level, which we believe kicks off a flywheel that will actually help the entire ecosystem grow. So that's the background. Check out deepinhub.io. Now, without further ado, I am about to welcome you to our most recently verified member of the DePIN Hub Verified Program, ROVR, ROVR. This project is super cool. They're essentially powering the future of autonomous vehicles, physical AI, and robotics, doing so in a decentralized fashion with token incentives, but combined with some really amazing hardware and tech. And I'm about to bring on two experts from the team's leadership, Chris Campbell and Guang Ling. I'm going to bring them on from backstage now. Let's see if I can get you, Guang Ling. Yes, and Chris.
Yeah, I can see me. Yeah.
Yeah,
Hi,
there you
Michael.
guys are. Hello. Can you guys
Hello.
hear yourselves?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, excellent. Well, then I'm going to shut up for a second and let you gentlemen introduce yourselves and introduce to our audience who is ROVR. Why don't we kick it off with you first, Guang?
Okay. Hi, everyone. My name is Guang Lin. Yeah, and I'm the project creator of ROVR Network. And about the ROVR project, ROVR is building the world's largest decentralized data platform and provide the critical infrastructure for autonomous driving, robotics, and the next generation physical AI system. Yeah. And Oh, a little more about me. Yeah, I have over 20 years of the Web2 industry. Yeah, for the first 10 years, I was the telecommunication engineer and responsible for base stations and the fiber optic project. And in the year of 2021, I entered Web3 and co-founded Pisces Miner with my best friend. Yeah, and it became one of the major hardware, the hotspots manufacturer of helium. Yeah, yeah,
Nice.
okay,
See, there's a connection here. We used to work
yeah,
with all the different hotspot manufacturers, including Pisces. We know you guys very
yeah,
well, actually. I just didn't realize that you were you. I didn't know there was that connection. So that's very interesting. Cool. Well, thank you, Guang. Chris, would you like to introduce yourself?
Sure, yeah. Chris Campbell, I'm lead solution architect at ROVR Network. I've been in the mapping industry for over 30 years. I started at here when it was a startup, and then went to a company called Telenav. Uh, it was a startup as well. For the past 10 years, I've been working mostly on HD mapping. So 10 years ago, I was working at Mercedes-Benz, and I got to write requirements for the map companies. So kind of talking to the engineers what they need from a map, and then translating that into map requirements and specifications. So that's my background, and continuing on the HD maps and data space.
Nice. So you are the mapping expert. Okay. Well, I like it. And Guang and I have kind of similar backgrounds because I used to work in telecom related rollouts and infrastructure and security as well, which is actually how I got into Helium.
yeah,
So it's kind of similar. We were starting out in the centralized, old school,
yeah,
traditional way, and then we both kind of found the
yeah,
Web3 version. So interesting. Small world. Well,
uh,
let's get into what you guys are doing because it's actually really cool. It's still very early to everybody who's listening, so I'm quite excited that we kind of got in touch with you. We discovered each other somehow. I guess it was actually through GeoNet. Our connection with GeoNet is how we were introduced to your project. But what you guys are doing is really impressive, and it's in an industry that is like I believe it was it was like 6 months ago that the CEO of NVIDIA was talking about basically the real opportunity with AI is when it goes physical. And he called out autonomous vehicles as the starting point. And I think everyone has really started paying attention the past 2 to 3 years to that. But I don't think a lot of people know what's really going on in the whole race of like, how do you develop this tech? What is behind it? What is missing? What is needed? And I think what you guys are doing is super novel and interesting. So excited for everybody to learn about it. Would one of you like to give the elevator pitch to Rover?
Yeah, Guang, can you provide that?
yeah. Because Rover, it's basically it's a data project, and we collect the data on the street, and that data contains lidar, camera, and IMU and RTK, of course, and that data is essential and critical for the autonomous driving and robotics and the spatial AI. And because this data is a very not like the large language model data, like the text, images, audios, and the videos, people can easily find on the internet and the social media. And such data with depth information, we cannot download from the internet. So that's we collect such data, and that data will be we will support the future physical AI training, especially for the 3D, yeah, 3D spatial AI models. Yeah.
Nice. Okay, perfect. And we'll unpack a little bit about what all this actually means because there's a lot of technical words that are being dropped around hardware and IMUs and lidar and all of these things. So we'll dig into that in a bit. But
Yeah.
before, maybe we zoom out and let's just briefly talk about the state of DePIN. So obviously, Rover is a DePIN. So we already touched on why this program exists, right? That we're essentially trying to filter out signal from noise, help people connect in an easier, faster fashion with what we believe are the top tier or like the top kind of 2-3% of deepins out there to reduce their own burden and risk a little bit. Um, but when we talk about deepin, the space has really taken off, right? When we created Deepin Hub, it was hard to even find more than 100 Deepin projects. Now it's very easy. We could argue that there's at least 1 to 2,000 DePIN projects. I wouldn't qualify most of them as DePINs. I would say there's maybe only a few hundred that are truly doing it as a DePIN. But regardless, there's now thousands. So the space is getting pretty hot, pretty noisy. It kind of cooled down a bit last year, or sorry, earlier this year. It got really hot at
Yeah.
the end of last year, and then kind of cooled down a bit this year. And now we're seeing this interesting thing where like there's institutional interest, but a lot of it's more around like Bitcoin ETFs and more of the financial side and stable coins. But we're
Yeah.
starting to see people becoming aware of DePIN. We're starting to see lobbying with different governments. We're starting to see more use cases on the demand side. And now I feel the past few months, this new narrative around physical AI, robotics, autonomous vehicles is really igniting a fire back into DePIN. So I'm getting pretty excited, and I think you guys are like right at the forefront of that. So your timing is really good. But I would be interested to hear what you guys think, either of you, Guang or Chris, about the state of DePIN right now, and any other thoughts about DePIN, and also why did you guys choose to get
Yeah.
verified?
Yeah, so for me, deeping is just like the next step after the proof of work, right? Instead of the wasting the energies on the meaningless, harsh calculations like the Bitcoin or early days of the Ethereum. So we are now doing the meaningful work that create real value. So that's deeping. Okay, so it's a huge shift. Honestly, it feels almost unfair compared to traditional ways of building the infrastructure. So let me give you a quick story. I used to be a telecom engineer over 10 years. Yeah, I spent over $100 million and lead 1,000 people. I built over just 2,000 base stations. But so the first time I saw the Helium project, they just have a few thousands of people and
You should be clapping for your
and
clapping for your 2,000 base
yeah,
stations. Very good, very good.
yeah, and a strong decentralized community because Helium has a strong decentralized community. They built over 1 million base stations in 2 years. This totally blew my mind. Especially for as a telecom engineer, that's insane. So that's I think that's the power of DeepIn, right? And now in the AI era, especially for the physical AI, like the robotics and autonomous driving, you need massive real world data. Centralized collection is just too expensive and too slow. So DeepIn is really the new way to scale it. So yeah. So that's my view of DeepIn. Yeah.
Amazing. Okay, don't know if you wanted to add on anything to that, Chris, or we're good.
No, I think that's perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, well, great. Well, yeah, obviously we're very bullish on DePIN. It's kind of, our thing. It's kind of what we do. So good to hear. I mean, that example is so perfect. I'm literally from the same background, right? And I was doing it with security
Yeah.
solutions, and we were literally helping companies secure their cell sites with millions, literally millions of dollars worth of locks, like locking infrastructure, electronic locks, and things like that, just because it was so complicated to have all these different contractors coming and going from the sites and doing construction work and fixing, replacing batteries and fixing the electricity and checking the base
Yeah.
station, whatever. And
Yeah.
millions of dollars just on locks. And it's because
Yeah.
when you
Yeah.
centralize the whole thing,
That's
you just
insane.
have so many inefficiencies, right? There's just no way
Yeah.
around it. But now imagine if the hotspot's just on your roof and it's literally your roof and you're incentivized to fix it yourself. You don't need to worry
Yeah.
about having 100 contractors. It's just, I love it. So obviously we're bullish on DePIN. So let's go into your DePIN and what you guys are doing specifically. So I think that's what people want to hear. By the way, as we talk about this to everybody, we're live on a few different platforms. If you have questions, feel free, 100% free, because this is meant to be a bit interactive, to drop them into the chat. So just drop them into the comments of either X or LinkedIn, whatever you're watching on. And at the very end, the last 10 minutes, we'll go through and dig up some questions and ask them directly to Chris and Guang. So
Great.
feel free to think about those questions, leave them in the comments. Now, moving forward, okay, autonomous vehicles, physical robotics, or physical AI, robotics, this is a huge space. This is complicated stuff. What you guys are doing is powering an extremely important component of that entire kind of industry and ecosystem. So why don't we zoom
Mhm.
out again and talk a little bit about that? What is kind of the current market specifically for autonomous vehicles? What are some of the challenges in that industry? What's kind of the reason that you chose to create Rover, and what are you trying to solve?
Oh, okay. So yeah, so let me take this question again, okay, Chris. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. So you know, right now the autonomous driving isn't just the futuristic idea anymore. Okay. So it's a happening. Yeah. Right now, and you can find the Waymo or Tesla FSD everywhere. So, if you ever been in the Waymo or Tesla with FSD, you will notice it can feel almost like riding with a really really experienced driver. So sometimes even more consistent. Okay, so a lot of progress has been made, but mass adoption is still not there yet. So the one big challenge is data. Autonomous driving needs a huge amount of high quality, long tail data. So things like extremely weather, the complex the road layouts, or even the culture differences in the driving are still very underserved. Because American driver and the India driver and the Chinese driver or Japanese driver they're different. Okay, so on top of that, I think the cost, the collecting such data, the cost are huge. So the ecosystem is really fragmented. So that's why we launched the rover, and we want to build a decentralized way to collect the real world, large scale data to help AI and the autonomous systems and the robotics to learn faster, safer, and more efficiently. Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, all right. Well, then
Okay.
let's go a little bit.
Mm.
Let's talk a bit more about Rover itself. Okay, so
Yeah.
obviously
Yeah.
to be verified, people have to apply. Maybe they go through a due diligence process. So we get it. Luckily, these projects like you guys are actually being transparent for the benefit of the whole community. We get to see a little bit
Mm.
like under the hood about what's going on. There was a lot of things that stood out. Some of them were, first of all, you guys are coming off the back of successful seed funding. I believe $2.6 million, right?
Correct.
And I know
Yeah.
there's a connection with GeoNet there, so I think it'd be cool to talk a little bit about that. What you're doing on the demand side, that also stuck out. I think the demand side of this industry is it's just huge. So I think that's very relevant. And the third thing that I thought maybe we could touch on is the open data set, because I know there was a big announcement recently about that. So I don't know, Chris, maybe you want to take this one about some of the things that set kind of Rover apart, such as
Sure.
demand side, fundraising, open data set.
Yeah. So we already have some major POCs on the demand side that are already in motion. We're in touch with 300 plus companies globally, and we have 20 already moving into POC and other evaluation processes. And we signed a number of data validation agreements. And like you said, we raised 2.6 million in seed funding, including a strategic partnership with GeoNet for RTK and Connect Correction Services. Uh, and then the open data set has been released, and we've gotten some really good feedback so far. A lot of a lot of my contacts are really impressed with what we've put together with the open data set. So that's another area we can talk about later.
Amazing. Okay. Um, just making. Okay, sorry, I muted you, Guang, just in case there's background noise. So whenever you want to talk, I will unmute you. Because I noticed now it's like very quiet. Okay, so super interesting. Now let's go a little bit more into Rover itself. Like, let's talk a little bit about the tech. Because what I wanted to do was how do our listeners get involved, but I think our listeners need to understand a little bit better about kind of what you're building. Like, can you walk us through like a little bit more about what's the different tech? Like we were talking about IMUs and lidar and all this different equipment. How is this being used? What are you guys actually building? What can people purchase or utilize to help build out these mapping networks that are going to essentially be the eyes and ears of the future of autonomous vehicles? Like, can you walk us through a little bit about that? Like you mentioned LiDAR, we mentioned IMUs, we mentioned geonets, GNSS correction systems. What's sort of the tech stack look like for your solution?
So
Whoops, I'm trying to
it
unmute
starts
you,
out
Guam.
with our hardware. We have two devices. We have what we call the Tarantula X, which goes for $200, and it's a Bluetooth unit that hooks to your current cell phone. So you could use your own cell phone, and then it connects to Bluetooth, and then you collect imagery for us. Um, that's an only imagery and RTK. And then what we have, the and that's for $200. And then we have what we call the light cone, which is an auto grade lidar, auto grade camera, IMU, RTK system, that collects really good data. For for the tarantula, you get 1.6 tokens per kilometer, and for the light cone, which retails for 2,500, you get 16 tokens per kilometer on that. Anything else on the hardware stack, Guang, that you want to?
No, not really,
Okay.
because we our our second batch of the LC, the Latcon hardware, which is professional, the hardware has already sold out. So that hardware is very important for the AI training, because it has LiDAR and it has the depth information of the data, and that depth information is the authentic, the depth information, no like it's authentic 3D sensor, so it can measure the distance of the target. That's very important. We call it the ground truth. That's critical for the AI training. So,
Yeah.
and such 3D data is a super scales, yeah, on the market and on the internet. So, and right now we collect over 25 million kilometers of the data, and yeah, so that's huge with depth information, yeah. So
And one thing I'd like to bring up is, like for our mapping customers and other customers, if they need a certain area, we can target our drivers to go collect. So if there's new construction on the road or something, we can tell our drivers to go collect that. Or anything
yeah,
new, any new
yeah,
subdivision, any new buildings that are being put up, we can target our drivers to go collect there.
yeah,
Nice.
yeah,
How
because
does that
it's very, yeah, sorry.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead. Go on.
So it's in the traditional crowdsourcing mapping company, that's not possible. Yeah. So but it's the power of DePIN and Web3. Yeah, we can do that. Yeah.
Nice. And how is that achieved? Is
Okay.
that through boosting rewards there, or how do you coordinate?
Yeah, we have several methods, and right now, it's just boosting the reward in a specific area. For example, some customers ask us to provide the parking lot in some specific cities. Yeah, so we just boosting the reward there, and yeah, I think we will have another boosting reward a couple of weeks later, and people will see that, and that's the demand from our customers. Yeah, we boosting the reward, token reward there, and yeah, in the future, I think we are considering to put some NFT and yeah, issue some NFT there, and when people go there, just it's sort of the Pokemon Go. It's a game.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, people can go there to catch the NFT, and some people, and the NFT can be traded. So yeah, and the people with the NFT can get more token rewards or something like that. Yeah, yeah,
Nice.
yeah,
Nice. Okay, exciting. I love it. It's like Pokemon Go, but if you get paid in something a lot more valuable and you're actually building something that's going to
Yeah.
change the world
yes,
instead of just
yeah,
catching little animated monsters that are hanging out at your local coffee shop. Uh,
Yeah, I think
yeah,
the data that we collect is kind of unique because it's dynamic. Um, A lot of the HD maps out there are static, so as soon as they're built, they're out of date. Whereas we can provide fresh information, uh,
Yeah.
maybe weekly or at a targeted uh, space.
Yeah, that's correct.
Nice. Nice. All right. Well, I'm sure our listeners are probably excited to get involved. So, Chris, you briefly kind of spoke a little bit about the token rewards and how it works. But can you guys maybe give a little bit more in depth instruction of if somebody wants to participate now, they're like watching this and they're like, this sounds great. Can I put it on my car? What do I need to do to get involved? What do you suggest is the easiest way for people to participate in Rover?
So the easiest way is to purchase a device from our website. There's a link to buy the light cone and the tarantula there. And once you order, we'll ship it to you. And it comes with really good instructions on how to set it up. The light cone goes on top of the roof. The same with the Tarantula X. The Tarantula X has a magnet that connects to the roof. The light cone also has a series of magnets that connect to the car's roof. There's also a rubber pad that comes with it to kind of protect the vehicle from scratches. Um, and yeah, the easiest way, like I said, is to go to the website and order it, uh, and you should receive it fairly soon. And then once you just there's easy instructions on how to get it set up. You download the app on your phone, and then you connect the app to your device, uh, and then go. It's really that simple. Yeah.
Amazing.
Okay.
Okay. We can if you guys have, if either of you gentlemen have a link and you want to just send it to me in our chat, our private chat, I'll have someone on our team actually share it across the socials. So
Okay.
regardless of where people are watching this, we'll share it there. So if people want to actually check it out, they can.
Great.
Did you have anything else to add, Guang?
Oh, no.
Okay. Just I see you had this look like you
I
had.
think Chris has a perfect answer.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Good. Good. Good.
Okay.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
perfect. Okay. So that's a bit of background. Now, in terms of announcements, I think people tuning into this, they also like to feel like maybe they're getting a bit of alpha here. I already sort of, spoiler alert, I already said it at the beginning, but I think one of the super exciting things is about this release of the Rover Open Data Set. Would you like Guang to maybe talk a little bit about what that is, why is that relevant, and anything else you might like to add?
Yeah, about the open data site, the open data site is we have several open data sites on the market. For example, the Waymo open data site or the Kitty or DDAD and but our open data site is unique because we covered over 85 countries and with 25 million kilometers of data, with the depth information, with LiDAR point clouds, with IMU, with RTK. RTK is very high accurate data, up to 2 centimeters level, and this data set is very essential for autonomous driving and robotics. And compared to other open data sites, for example, a Waymo open data site, the Waymo just focus on in the United States, and but we covered much broader areas, more countries, more scenarios, yeah, more weather conditions. So yeah, so I think that's the power of Web3 and the DePIN,
Yeah.
So yeah, so that's the open rover open data site, and we already have the link listed here. I think the people can access the GitHub to find out on the site. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's very huge, and yeah, and another announcement, and I have some big news to share right now.
Oh, okay.
You know,
Please do.
in the
Please
next
do.
few yeah. In the next few weeks, yeah, we are going to announce a major partnership, and we have already finished the negotiation with the data sales contract, yeah, with one of the world's largest the last mile delivery robot companies, and we
Ah,
expected to sign. Yeah, we expect to sign it in the coming days. So this is really, really exciting for us. Yes, yeah. So
And I'm cheering one more time.
yeah,
I I've been told by our
yeah,
meeting
yeah,
guys
yeah,
stop with the cheering and the clapping, but I feel like that one merits a cheer.
yeah. Okay. Yeah. So yeah. That's all.
And
Amazing. Okay.
we just listed on MEXC. Wang, did you want to go
Oh
into that
yeah.
a little bit? Or?
Yeah, that's the day before yesterday. Yeah, we have the maxi listing. Yeah, everything goes smoothly. The token price is smoothly goes smoothly. Yeah, so yeah, I think it's very helpful for us. Yeah,
Nice. Well, yeah, I mean that's
yeah,
big. Listen, that's not like, listing on some small decks. That's serious. Your Mexi is quality. That's good. So that was actually a
yeah,
question I had, but you've answered it. So if anyone was wondering, the classic DGen question, when TGE?
Yeah.
Well, it's already happened. So Rover's moving fast. So you
yeah,
can actually find their token on multiple exchanges, including Mixi. You can track it on things like CoinGecko and CoinMarketCap as well. So get moving so you don't get left behind. You're still super early. Um,
yeah.
Speaking of early, when was it? Maybe you said at the beginning, but I forgot. When was it that Rover actually, when did you start? When did Rover begin?
It's the network up and running last September.
Last
Yeah,
September.
that's 1 year. Yeah, last
So it's been
September.
one
Yeah,
year.
the
Okay.
network up and running, and the TGE is this year is
In
April
April.
26th, I think. Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
April.
Okay. Wow, you guys did move fast. Wow.
Yeah,
Okay. So yeah, so everybody, you're
yeah,
you're still really early. So I think this is what you want. This is why you tune into Deep and Hub because we find you cool stuff, the best stuff like Rover early. Okay.
yeah.
Well,
Okay.
before we hand it over to questions, I wanted to give you gents a chance just to touch on anything else that you might want to touch on. If we skipped something you wanted to talk about, if you had any random ideas, feel free to voice them now. I don't know if Chris, you had anything you wanted to add on.
No, not at the moment, no. Um,
Okay, Guang.
Yeah. We are focused on the autonomous driving, and we can see the autonomous vehicles as the three degree of freedom robots. Okay, so maybe in the next maybe in coming months, yeah, we will be expand our business and the narrative, and we will to collect. We plan to collect more data of the robotics. Yeah. So yeah, we are working on it.
yeah, for like
Okay,
delivery robots and things like that.
Yeah, yeah. Because the
nice.
autonomous vehicles is one type of the robots. Yeah.
Okay, so it's a lot bigger than just
Yeah.
autonomous vehicles.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
That's
Yeah.
pretty exciting. Okay. Well, awesome. Let me just check something real
Uh,
quick. I'm just going to check because when we do these streaming across multiple platforms, I don't have an easy way to aggregate questions. So I
Oh,
have to
yeah.
like dig from different channels.
oh,
But let
okay.
me just check here. Um, but I think I already have two. So hold on a second.
Okay.
I'm going to look here. But here's one. So I'm going to lead in with one, and then Pedro, who's our video and media master, is checking all the communities and socials for questions right now. But already have a couple in. So first and foremost, where is it? Where's the question? Oh, okay. We actually touched already on boosted hexes. So to answer that, are there any specific regions Rover is emphasizing? Will this be reflected in rewards? Yes, there are boosted
Yeah.
hexes. You talked about that. But are there
Yeah.
specific regions that you're emphasizing at a general level that you could share about? Like you know strategically that you really need a certain type of data?
That depends of our customers. Right now some of our customers need data in Europe and the United States of the TX data, and some customers specifically in some areas, for example, the parking lot, or some scenarios like the LC data. Some customers need the scenarios like the cutting, you know, the So yeah, but for the specific areas, I think in the first step is to boost in some cities in the United States. Yeah, for example, the Bay Area,
Yeah.
Chicago, and New York City. Yeah,
Yeah, we have really
Got
good
it.
coverage in
yeah.
the
So we
US,
will make it.
Europe, and
Yeah, we yeah
Southeast
we
Asia.
will make an announcement. Yeah, we will make an announcement maybe several weeks later. Yeah, about that.
Ah, okay. So we got to keep
Mm.
everyone on the edge of their seat for 2 to 3 more weeks. You guys are dropping a lot of announcements. I like it. You guys
Yeah.
move very fast, which I like. I mean, the fact that you TG'd in April, officially really
Yeah,
launched the company in September the year before, and now you have the open
yeah,
data set out, and you're doing all this stuff on the demand side. Like, it's great. Like,
yeah.
and I know that you guys have a close connection with GeoNet because they also help lead your funding
Mm.
round. And I know Mike and the team there also moves really fast. So I can sense there's like
Yeah,
a level of professionalism that I enjoy seeing in DePIN
yeah.
because since DePIN is technically
Mm.
still crypto, there's always a bit of a you never know what you're going to get with crypto,
Mm.
right? And it's great to see these
Yeah,
projects that are just like moving super fast and like closing these big deals on the demand side, and that also filtering back to the community, right, through the tokens. So
Mhm.
it's quite exciting.
yeah.
Let me pull up more questions here. So okay, this is a good one because I was actually touching on what you mentioned
Uh,
earlier. How do you see
mm.
Rover being used in non-automotive use cases? So beyond just autonomous vehicles. You guys mentioned a little bit about delivery
Yeah.
robots, but can you go into a bit more examples?
That I think that the question is that it's we planning to expand into some robotic space. In many ways, autonomous driving is just a robot with 3 degrees of the freedom, as I said. Yeah, humanoid robot is roughly 20 to 30 DOF, the degree of freedom. But the AI core is essentially the same.
Hmm.
So that's why Tesla built the Tesla car. Simultaneously, they built the humanoid robots, the Optimus. So because the AI core is essentially the same and the data is essentially the same, so that's why we plan to make the moves in this area too, and leveraging what we are built for the autonomous systems. Yeah, yeah.
You said the term DOF, like degree of freedom. Is that what? Can you
Degree of
elaborate on
freedom,
Degree
yes.
of freedom.
what
Yeah.
that means?
Degree of freedom, yeah. The autonomous
And
vehicle is a 3 DOF, and the humanoid is it's a 20 to 30 or even 40 DOF, degree of freedom.
uh-huh. So as
Yeah.
the DOF increases, it basically means that they're more autonomous. Is that what it means?
No, no, the
There's
movement
more
of the
Oh,
attributes or more
mm,
more attributes. I think that
yeah,
Guang is
yes,
talking about.
okay.
yeah,
Interesting. So learning new terms here. So
yeah.
DOF. All right.
Yeah, DOF. Okay.
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 So more questions. So this one is more for people who are deeper into DeepIn, who are familiar with GeoNet. But can you talk a little bit more about the relationship between GeoNet and Rover? Is it just an investment? It sounds like it's more because
Hmm.
you're also using some of the GeoNet tech with your solution, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So the RTK
Because
units,
mm,
we use the RTK units in the Litecoin and the
mhm,
Tarantula.
yeah, yeah. Because our collaboration is many layers. That the technical layer is the RDK, of course, as Chris mentioned. Yeah, we every rover hardware, including the tarantula and the Litecoin, all of them using the RDK because it's a high accurate device, centimeter level. There's no other technology can achieve this, the 2 centimeter level of accuracy. So the RTK is essential. So that's why we cooperate with GeoNet, and GeoNet is the world's biggest the RTK network in the world. And I was I work in the autonomous driving area space over 7 years. I used a lot of RTK service provider, and GeoNet is the best. Yes, it's the best. So that's why we cooperate with GeoNet. And the second layer of the cooperation is GeoNet invest in us. you know, so in the Web 2 space, the positioning and the mapping and the data collection usually work together. Yeah, that's in the Web 2 space. So I think in the Web 3, the same. So that's why we must work closely with GeoNet. Yeah.
Nice. Well, to anyone who missed it, we had one of these. I don't remember exactly when it was. 2 weeks ago, I think, or maybe it was three, with Mike from GeoNet, so the project creator at GeoNet. And anyone who's not paying attention, GeoNet has been on a tear, doing like, I mean, quarter on quarter. I don't know the exact number, but I believe the ARR now is somewhere around like 4.4 million, which in DePIN is almost unheard of. So growing super fast every month. And so if
Yeah.
Mike and the GeoNet team, the rest of the leadership, have given their bow of confidence to you guys and said that, hey, this is where we're putting our money, this is where we're going to partner, then that to me is also a great seal of approval. That means that you guys are definitely doing something right, and it's quite exciting. So hats off to you all for establishing that partnership and raising that round. Let's do one more question here before we close things out.
Okay.
Let me pull up one more.
Okay.
Oh man, actually, there's so many questions that I would like to ask, but can you maybe you talked a bit because I see there's some stuff about the demand side and like the data and stuff, and you mentioned a little bit about it already, Guang. But can you maybe go into any more detail about what does the demand side just look like for what you're building? Like, you don't have to go into necessarily specific agreements or contracts with clients, but like, who are the typical buyers of this data, or how is the data consumed?
Oh, okay. Because there are two types of customers. The first one is the OEM, the car manufacturer, and the second type is the AI company they build. There are two technological way to achieve the autonomous driving. Not only the autonomous driving cars, but also the autonomous system vehicles, small vehicles or robotics. There are two ways. The first is VLA, the vision language action models, and the second one is the word model, the WA. So both models, both ways, they need the data. So especially the AI company, and we cooperate with such AI company right now because the AI company much smaller than the OEMs, so they are easy to deal to cooperate with. So we we sell our data to the AI company, and they are using our data to build their all VLA models and the world models. So yeah, so that's the type of the customers we're working
And
with.
and also map
And
companies.
yeah,
Map companies are interested in the data we provide as well.
yes,
Uh,
yes, of course.
so yeah,
Yeah, and
we
we can use our
oh, go
yeah.
ahead.
Yeah, okay. The mapping companies, they can use our data to build the HD maps. Yeah, the HD maps sometimes is very essential for the autonomous driving.
Okay. So in a
Yeah.
way, this is just my own question now. This is just me thinking. If you look at some of the
Mm.
like what Nadix was, because now Nadix is also involved a bit in autonomous vehicles, but like they are essentially a mapping
Yeah.
solution in DeepIn. Hive Mapper is essentially a mapping solution in
Yeah.
DeepIn to basically just provide
Yeah.
faster and more up to date data for these mapping companies.
Yeah.
But your solution could also is technically could be a competitor to them as well. Yeah.
Uh, Technically speaking, they are not. We are not competitors. They are great project, of course. HiMapper and Natix, they are so great, and but we have a different customers. We have different technologies, and yeah, and our data, it's authentic like the 3D data. It's with this
Mm.
LiDAR. We have the ground truth information. For example, when our customers train their AI models, they need to know the ground truth, how
Hmm.
far the target. Yeah. For example, the 10 meters, 20 meters. Yeah. They use the ground truth to verify their AI model. So that's what we
Mm.
are providing now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and the second one is the RDK because the RDK is we have the high accurate positioning information thanks to a GeoNet, and yeah, we have the 2 centimeters level accuracy, and we can give this kind of data to our customers, and the hidden factor is all the data. We have several sensors combined together: the lidar, camera, IMU, and the RDK, and all the sensors. We do the sensor fusion and the 10 synchronized. Yeah, so that's very important, and it's a little difficult, but very important for us. Yeah. So we are different from Natives and the High Mapper.
Yeah.
Of course, they're so great. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, it's a massive space as well,
Yeah.
right? So it's good that everyone sort of has their own
Yeah.
strong suits and everyone's sort of like focusing on different
Yeah.
parts of it. But yeah, from a complexity
Yes.
point of view, it sounds like what you guys are doing is the most complex because you have to tie all of this different types of data together to create this sort of
Yeah.
3D rendering, right, of the environment.
Yeah.
And it
Yes.
sounds
Yes.
amazing. And the lidar component seems to me, as an outsider, what kind of really sets it apart is getting that depth perception, right?
Yeah.
Which is really only
Yeah.
achievable via
Yeah.
lidar. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
Yes.
Well, good. Guys, thank you so much. I think this will at least help make what you're doing a bit clearer to the DePIN community who tuned in and to people who will watch this in post. But I think also they're going to think a bit more about it and probably start getting quite excited because, again, like this, basically creating these different scenes or scenarios, whatever you want to call it, is 100% critical for things like drones and autonomous
Mm-hmm.
vehicles and all of this, and also for future use cases with humanoid robots and everything else. And without these data sets, without these maps, especially 3D maps, you just really can't train them, right? So if everything's shifting to physical robotics and AI and, well, I'm mixing it together, physical AI and robotics and autonomous vehicles, then like your position is just perfect because you're helping at like kind of the core level power that entire transition. So again, it pays to be early. I think everyone listening to this is early. So check out Rover. That's my CTA. I guess my last CTA would be go to deepinhub.io, find Rover. You'll see them because they're verified. They have a badge. They're at the top of the project list where we have about 188, I think, projects today listed. And you can star them, which makes them a favorite. So if you have a DePIN Hub profile, they'll be starred. You'll be able to see their updates easier, and will also help Rover kind of float to the top in some of our rankings as well, because we do rank projects on stars. So give them some love, give them a star on DePIN Hub. That was my little CTA. Gentlemen, do you have any last items you would like to say or CTAs for the audience?
Please follow our Twitter.
So yeah, follow our Twitter, X, our LinkedIn. We also have a YouTube channel as well.
Yeah.
So we can please follow along.
Nice. Okay, so give them some love, follow them on socials. And again, I believe we shared the links to pick up the tarantula. And the light cone is already available as well for purchase
Yes.
right now?
Yeah, it's available from our website. It's a
Okay.
$2,500
But right
unit.
now the Litecoin is sold out. So right now it's
Okay.
Oh,
sold
it's
out.
sold. Okay.
So we are prepared. Yeah, yeah. We are preparing the next batch of the production. So
Perfect. Okay.
maybe, yeah.
So people can get
You,
started with the
maybe
Tarantula X.
people can join. Or maybe if you want to buy, and you can join our Discord and contact our CTO. Maybe
Yeah.
sometimes we have some the testing unit. Yeah, yeah. So
Nice.
maybe.
No, but it's
So
perfect. People can try it out with Tarantula in the app. It's a lot lower initial investment, right? Get familiar with the project, start earning some Rover, and then if they're really bullish, they can go all in and wait for the next batch of light cones, and then, you know, 5, 6x whatever it is their token earnings, right? So I
Yeah.
think it's good. It's give people a bit of time to warm up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, perfect. All right, guys. So we will have more information about Rover coming out because we're actually working on a deep dive research article as well. So stay tuned. We'll have more updates. We'll definitely be following what you gentlemen are doing and building, and I hope our community will as well. And we'll be doing more of these spaces live with video like this because it's fun. It's fun seeing like it on different platforms. It's a little more interactive than just doing it faceless on X. So we'll have more of these coming. Thank you all for tuning in. Chris, Guang, I know you're super busy. Thank you for making time to do this.
Sure.
and
Thank you.
LFG, gentlemen.
Nice.
Okay.
All right, we're
All
gonna
right.
sign off.
Okay.
Thanks, guys.
Okay. Mm.
Thanks.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.